I guess I gotta continue on with this story because I thought that when it said end, that it ended, but I was told that I have to click on the little, I don't know what that weird wording is to continue the story. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how much stupidity my guy's gonna do. I don't know if this is gonna be after the incident last time. I'm still a little mad or sad. I'm mixed emotions about that because I just want to punch my guy. Okay, I just want to punch him. Just putting it out there. I just want to be all like, "You're an idiot." But that's side the point. I got to continue the story. I got to get into this one. I got to click on this. Alright. I see an annoying girl running toward me with this is waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to the attention she might draw to herself. Wait, hold on. This is oddly familiar. That girl's my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but it kind of works out because you know each other for so long. Can't we read everything? We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting after high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I also feel better off running away. Back to his own tactics again. However, I just saw him idle in front of the crosswalk and catch up to me. What the fuck is going on here? Okay. It's an ordinary day, like any other. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friends, groups, walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I've always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that. Wait. What's going on here? But I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content about just getting by on average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyways. I don't know, there's girls that like anime. They're pretty ones too. The school day is ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack my things and stare blankly at the wall looking for an ounce of motivation club, there really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. After. Monica? Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Let me say, Monica, I'm betting you have something to do with what's going on. Because, like, I don't know what's going on now. I don't know. Is this a new story? Now that Sayori is gone. But I do bet that Monica here has something to do with her death too. Because they've been acting all like, oh, she said this and she said that. I'm going to listen to what she said to me. It's like, what did you say? What did you say to her? I'm getting to the bottom. What did you say? Monica was probably the most popular girl in school. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me generally feels like a little... What did you come in here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some sample supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? About that. I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics after around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. This country's ironically deja vu. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club do you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. Literature? That sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there's only 3 of us so far. It's only hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know. Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members can keep her manga collection in the club room. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She's always insisted manga and literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. But besides a member, right? Did I say she? Hey, Perfter. By any chance, are you still looking for a job, a club, or to join? I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could, at the very least, visit my club, it would make me very happy. Please? Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how can I ever refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Ah, awesome. You're really sweet, Perturb. You know that? It's nothing, really. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. And thus today marks the day I saw my sword and Monica and her irresistible smile. That's bullshit. That is bullshit, my guy. That is bullshit. I want you to sit there and say you're like wanting to go to this stupid club. It's not stupid. You want to go to this club because of Monica and her irresistible smile. But when it was Sayori, you only wanted to join the club because of cupcakes. I'm fine. I'm okay. Let's keep going. I typically follow Monica across the school and upstairs in a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for the third-year classes and activities. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Yeah, I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. Stop doing that. I guess. Seriously, you brought a boy, and here we go again. Way to kill the atmosphere. I said it exactly the same way I said it before. Stop it. Get some help. Don't be mean, Saki. But anyway, welcome to Club Perter. All words escape me in this situation. This club, it's full of incredibly cute girls. So let me guess. You're Micah's boyfriend, right? What? My guy wishes. Really? No, I'm not. Nasake, the girl with this sort of sour attitude, whose name is apparently Nasake, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. That's what I thought too the first time I seen her. Anyway, this is Nasake, energetic as always, as usual, and this is Yuri, the vice president. I remember you. Listen, we and you got along really good. It's nice to meet you, Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Misaki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So I ran into Perter in the classroom and he decided to come and check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought someone new? I was going to, well, you know, sorry, I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. And in that case, I could at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Perter? The girls have a few desks ranged in the form of a table. Yuri walks in the corner of the room and grabs the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Masaki sits across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Nasaki? Well, I guess. Nasaki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica just must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying the tea set. She carefully places the teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom? Don't worry, the teachers give us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. You're just trying to impress you. That's not... No. Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So perfect. What kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I read these past few years, I don't really have a way to answer that. Manga. I muttered quietly to myself, Joe half jokingly. Murasaki head roll. Something perks up. It looks like she's wanted to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with a finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story of such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems to reserve, timid, and since the moment I walked in, but it is obvious by her eyes light up when she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can be so deliberately take advantages of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Oh, I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to on a minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. I expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really? If the story makes me think and takes me into another world, then I really can't put it down. Hero horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. What's that? Well, Nasaki eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you? Nasaki. Wait, what? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper out last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called "Don't Say It Out Loud." And give that back. Fine. Nasaki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Well, why don't you share them sometime? No. Nasaki inverts her eye. You wouldn't like them. And not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Nasaki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing that even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if I share some of your work, you can set the example and help Misaki feel comfortable enough to share hers. But I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment. I just got an idea. How about this? Misaki and Yuri looks quizzingly at Minaka. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. The next time we meet, we'll all share them for each other. The way everyone is even. Um, I mean, I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monica. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like good steps for us to take. Do you agree as well, Perter? Hold on. There's still one problem. And what's that? Now that we reached the most important topic I've lately come forth has been on my mind the entire time. I never said that I would join this club. Monica may have convinced me to stop by, but I have never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lost my train of thought. All three of the girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought. These girls changed glances before Monica turned back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Parker. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one more before the festival, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible letting everyone down in this situation. I'm excited. The club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is a price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls, right? Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Raptor? Yeah. It could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I would be super pissed. Raptor, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're all really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring it next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Perfect. I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. I can really impress the class star, Monica. With my mediocre writing skills, I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea staff. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait. With that, I depart from the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Saki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in the literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll continue to make the most of the circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess it starts with writing a poem tonight. I have unlocked a special poem. Would you like to read it? Sure. That's not a poem. What is this? What is this? Ma'am, what was that? I don't know. Alright, I'm just gonna go with, I don't know if I should keep going on with this story here. I don't know what the frick. It's all the same right now. Everything's going on with the same. I guess day 2... Oh, wait, hold on. Day 2 is actually long. Do I want another hour one? No, I'm gonna Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Family! Yeah. Imagination. Yeah. Disoriented. Yeah. Mmm. Frightening. Gay. No. Misfortune. Awesome. Ooh. Embrace. Unstable. Secretive. Anime, of course. Horror. Intellectual. Happiness. Calm. Romance. Calm. Anxiety. Extraordinary. Fantasy. Contamination. Peaceful. Of course, I'm getting Yuri. Hi again, Perpter. Glad to see you didn't run away from us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for you, but at least keep my word. Well, I'm back in the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. What's going on with your face? Thanks for keeping your promise, Perpter. I hope this isn't too overwhelming for a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Why? Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. You already had a drag here by Monica. I don't know if you plan just come here and hang out or what. If you don't take this seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Can you move out of the frickin' way, lady? Misaki certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Misaki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Misaki plops back into her seat. I'm sorry, Perker. We'll make sure to put her comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Nanasaki with a disappointed glance. Anyway, now that you're in the club at all, perhaps you might have interest in picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in the club now, so it really feels right for me to do something like that if you ask. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be a part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book for if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started or something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out her book. I didn't want to feel left out. I didn't want you to feel left out. So I picked out the book that I thought she might enjoy. So I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. I had a short read, so I should keep your attention. It's a short read, so it shouldn't keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is how is this girl actually being so cute. She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it on your own pace. I look forward to hearing about what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in the book. I can't help but notice her immersed expression as she's waiting for the chance. Meanwhile, Misaki is rummaging around the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Kiria for a little bit more, but at the same time I would feel bad distracting her from the reading. I catch a glimpse of her on the cover of her book. It looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems like she's on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and her eyes meeting split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was forced, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so as the book that you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it, not for any particular reason, just curious, and how come you have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at this bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have the hard time pinning it down. It's been engaging, relatable story. If that's so. What's the story about anyway? Well, I look in the cover of the book, and the book is titled Portrait of a Marvark. Mavark. Marvok. There's an enormous looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison and the people trapped in. There have the trait that turns them into killing machines with a lust for blood. But the faculty gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and asphyxiating them to... Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean, not the thing about the limbs. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. There's a lot of dark turns in this stupid thing. It's... Oh, are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Perkter? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It just seems all is kind of the story. It's just kind of that challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective when horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway. Then suddenly, am I rambling on? Ain't I? No, not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest in anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem when I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts. My whole body gets... I didn't get to read that. I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. So please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it. Right. Yes. I mean, you deserve... I mean, you don't have to, but... what are you saying? Let me just get the book. I clearly was reading the book, and I had it in my bag. Oh, alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little appreciative. Apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want to. It's just something I'm not very used to, that is reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. As if I can feel a presence over my shoulders as if reading is not particularly a bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feel is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she is not actually looking at her own book. I glance over it. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just bathing in... What the fuck? Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do. I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here. This should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders almost touching. Feels like my left arm is in for way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. Oh, and I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the pages. Here, Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumbs and forefinger. I do the same with the right arm and the right side of the book. That way I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But I'm holding it like this. We're handling over closer together than ever before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of your face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Hey, to turn pages? Oh, so sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over Yuri's face again and her eyes meet. Our eyes meet. And our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being impatient if it takes you a bit longer. I'll probably the least I can do, since you've been patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri is no longer asking me if I am ready to turn pages. Instead, I just assume that she's finished with her page before me, and so I turn it on my own violation. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but this main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. Huh? No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I'm just thinking that the way that she second guesses that thing she always and all that. That's what you were talking about. Sorry, I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get to that far yet, so I don't know why that came to her head. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. My breathing. Yuri puts her hands on her chest as if she feels her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyways, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up, practically rushes out the classroom. What on earth was that about? Cryptor. Did something happen just now? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything? Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh, no, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing. Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyways, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? Eh, shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I just figured we'd start without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off on the book, then slip it back into my bag. Okay, Monica, check it out. I should start Monica. Yesterday seemed really eager to read my poems. I want her to know that I'm putting in some effort. Hey, Professor. Having a good time so far? Hey, yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, have you ever have any suggestions for the club? Like new activities or things we can do better? I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring them up again, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring them up. I'm much better off just going with the flow instead of being more settled in anyway. Want to share a poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Yay! Don't worry, Bertha. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. It's not that sort of barrier that we have to learn to get past. And yeah, that's true. I handed Monica my poem, and good job, Bertha. I was going oh in my mind while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectation low. That way, I'm always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing this full imaginary and symbolism. Sometimes I feel that like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing though, but sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spends so much time on her own head. That's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she's just so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interactions, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier, I think she's getting too stimulated. She ended up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly, the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poem with each other. Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, and I'm more glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I need to go to get my poem now. Anyways, you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, it's not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be not be very good. Well, that's the case. I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. I see. Well, really then, I'm hoping it's not the same one I read before. Oh, it is! I already read this. He wasn't looking at me, confused. I frankly glanced at the rest around and the red new eyes of no one to color. Are you others in the room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on a flat sheet of paper? It sounds like swelling, playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crackle, closing in on me. The air I breathe disperses before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears and brandish my pen. That wasn't what you wrote before. I gotta remember. I gotta look back on that. What the fuck? I don't think that's what you wrote. Weird. So what do you think? It's very free form. If that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performing out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Hey, well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that it had some kind of empath empathy recently. It's been influenced my poem a bit. And empathy? Yeah, something like that. It kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other? Anyway, here's my writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too vaccinated in a specific point. If you try too hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy up later. Another way to think of it is if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you just have a dark puddle of ink. So you just gotta keep your hand moving and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Yuri, there you are. This is who I wanted to talk to. I was wanting to talk to you. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes light exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri's first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? You use your imaginary metaphors. In any case, you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time really, huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at the poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her fingers along the words of the poem and breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there's a specific writing habits of the usual, if typical of new writers, and having been through them myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognized in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they fit the two words together. The end result is both the style and expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can blame for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even simple poems, not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together, and probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes from practice and learning by example and trying the new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Misaki can be a little bit biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking to other people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri was a question to herself, neither to Misaki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Oh, please do. I love to share my thoughts and process behind it. Your smile was dreamly. As if she was really an opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Goes under the light. Oh wait, hold on. The tendrils of my hair remain beneath the ember glow, bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining straight light and withstood the test of time. The last. Wait, this is exactly the same one you did. An arrow of the present and living in the past. The light flickers and I flicker. This is exactly the same thing you did before, lady. Okay. I gotta go back and read Monica's first one. What the frick was that? I am sorry. I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Hey, well, I don't really read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short and it's really descriptive. I wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghost theory? Actually, the story is not about ghosts at all, Carter. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember, the poet often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell us a story and paint a picture. In that case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her past remaining place of comfort, lingering to her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. There's a lot more Selim putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. Yeah. You know, I was really nervous about doing this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Perfter. Hey, me too. No, Saki. That's what you got. Hey, well, it's about what I expect from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It's just I didn't evoke any emotions. So basically, it's not cute enough for your taste. So you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Sigh. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. This is monkeys can climb. Wait, listen. This is exactly the same thing you did before. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of the poem for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easier to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simply writing is it's more weight into the wordplay. Like I set it up for the rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling at the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what I meant to be a pro. I am glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but Nazaki is feeling proud then I can't take that away from her. Phew! I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room, and it's a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monica is writing something on the notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Misaki. They gradually and gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poem. As they read it, Tenjin. I wish each of their expressions change. Nasaki's eyebrows furry in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with the language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Nasaki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Oh, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism and something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How is that being cute? I know that. I just meant the languages, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Uh, you need, you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say. Thanks, but I can really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of just suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have just asked someone who actually liked it, which people did, by the way. Mine liked it, and Perfect did too. So based on that, I'm gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Perfect liked my poem too, you know. He even told me that he was impressed by it. And it's like it suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I. Oh, you're just. Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous of Perfect appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? I no. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do over cutesy. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one with whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Perfect started showing up. Misaki. That's a little. This doesn't involve you. Taking out your own insecurities and others like that? You really act as young as you look, Misaki. Me? Look who's talking. You want to be edgy, bitch? Edgy? Sorry that my life isn't too much for someone who's mental age of it to comprehend. See? Just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to go over themselves as they graduate middle school, you know. If you weren't to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance the toxic personality just by just dressing and acting cute? The only cute thing about you is how hard you try. Whoa, be careful, you might cut yourself into an edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad, you already do, don't you? Do you just accuse of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on. Let Perfect hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. Eh, suddenly Yuri turns around and as she just noticed I was standing here. Perfect. She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. What, I can't read that. What the? Yuri? 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 Get the frick out of here. You're not Yuri. Monica. Monica. Um, Hi, Pripter. Why don't we step outside for a little bit, okay? Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back instead inside once they're done yelling. Ahaha. Some president I am, right? I can't even confront my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes. I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with others, then that's fine. I'll be happy to spend time with you instead. Suddenly, Misaki runs out of the classroom. She quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. Huh. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri rocking back and forth in her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? I didn't mean it. I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Misaki. I. Perfect. Please don't hate me. Please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Misaki will forget all about it tomorrow. Completely. Anyway, the meeting is over and you can go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monica. You can go first, Monica. I like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Eh, Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. It kind of sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri. It's not like that. It's not. I just. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Perfter. I would just be embarrassing with you listening. Sigh. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble, but I really appreciate. I guess that one's it for this day. Uh, I think the next day is gonna get a little weird too. Well, I've gotta stop here.